If you are looking to buy a pre-built PC and you are looking to buy it from Amazon, because as you know, Amazon is one of the biggest retailers in the world, then you have to be careful because even though there are some great PCs, there are some bad ones. And if you don't have enough PC knowledge, you could be buying a PC that's not the right one for you and it's not going to achieve the performance that you want, or even worse, it doesn't even turn on. For that reason, I will show you the best pre-built gaming PCs from Amazon for every budget and also every resolution, 1080p, 1440p and 4K, and I will show you the level of performance that you can get with each system in different resolution on high to ultra settings in high demanding titles and also in esports games such as Fortnite, Valorant and those type of games. My name is Valentino and all the links to these pre-built PCs will be down below in the video description. With that being said, let's start. With the first one, we have the best gaming PC in my opinion for under $1,000. This is a 1080p ultra system and I'm talking about the Thermaltake LCGS gaming PC. This one has the RTX 4060, which is a 1080p high to ultra settings gaming graphics card, and I will get to the level of performance in a second. And then you get the i5-13400F for the CPU, which is a very nice mid-range CPU to pair with the RTX 4060. Now, for the rest of the components, you get a 1TB NVMe SSD and 16GB of RAM, which are the standard for gaming. And with this system, you are going to be getting great performance at 1080p, and you can also play at 1440p if you want. So at 1080p high to ultra settings, you can expect 90 plus FPS on average, and I'm talking about games like Cyberpunk 2077 or Hogwarts Legacy, which are very high demanding. So if you want to play easy to run games, as I said before, Fortnite, Valorant and these type of shooters, maybe you want to play CS2, then you can expect 240 plus FPS on average in competitive settings. So honestly, for under $1,000 you are getting a 1080p beast of a system, and if you want to play at 1440p you can expect around 60 plus FPS on average on high to ultra settings in high demanding titles, and even more if you turn on the DLSS, which is the upscaler from Nvidia. So in my opinion, the best PC for under $1,000. If you have more money to spend though and you want better performance for both 1080p and 1440p resolution, then I do recommend you getting the Skytech Chronos, which is quite more expensive, but in my opinion it is worth the upgrade if you want faster performance, especially if you need more VRAM in your graphics card, because here you get the RTX 4070, which is much faster than the RTX 4060 when it comes to gaming performance, and you get 12GB of VRAM, which is going to be helpful compared to 8GB of VRAM if you want to play the latest high demanding AAA titles where you may need more than 8GB of VRAM. Therefore, the 4070 is the much better option. In terms of performance, well, at 1080p, instead of achieving 90 plus FPS on average like the RTX 4060, with the RTX 4070 you will be able to achieve 140 plus FPS on average, which is a very nice number considering we are talking about high demanding games. Now, if you want to play esports titles, then you can expect 300 plus FPS on average depending on the title in competitive settings, maybe even faster than 360 plus FPS on average. So if you want a 360Hz monitor, feel free to buy one. And then if we jump up to 1440p resolution, then you can achieve around 100 plus FPS on average with the RTX 4070 on high to ultra settings in high demanding games. Then you get a Ryzen 7 5700X for the CPU, which is very similar to the 13400F when it comes to gaming performance. Then you also get 16GB of RAM, and here you get a 240 all-in-one liquid cooler, which is going to be nice if you end up upgrading the CPU down the line to something that's more beefy. Anyway, the main difference here is the 4070, and in my opinion it is worth the upgrade, but it's quite more expensive at $1,400. So if you have around $1,500, I think this one is going to be your best option, especially if you play at 1440p resolution or you want to play at 1080p very high FPS. Now, if you want to play at 1440p and you want to have a maxed out experience, or you want to play at 4K high to ultra settings, then I recommend you getting the ABS Case Aqua gaming PC. This one has the RTX 4070 Ti Super, which is faster than both the 4070 and 4060 mentioned before, and the 4070 Ti Super has 16GB of VRAM, making it not only a 1440p capable graphics card but also a 4K capable one. The 4070 Ti Super is my favorite GPU when it comes to price to performance for 4K and 1440p high to ultra settings, and you can achieve over 120 plus FPS on average when it comes to 1440p ultra, and you can achieve 70 plus FPS on average when it comes to 4K. And remember, this is native resolution in very high demanding games. So if you turn on the DLSS, then you can expect even higher frame rates at 4K resolution in case you want to achieve more than 70 FPS. However, I do think that this system, the ABS PC, is the best one when it comes to price to performance on this entire list, because it's not the cheapest PC, but it's not the most expensive one, and it's going to give you a very high-end level of performance, because you also get an i7-14700KF, which is one of the fastest CPUs when it comes to gaming in the entire market. And here you get 32 gigs of DDR5 memory at 6000 MHz, meaning that you are going to be getting a system that's great for gaming, but is also amazing for content creation, productivity work, and streaming. This system is under $2,000 at $1,900, and there are only 10 left in stock while recording this video, so maybe when you're watching this it's not in stock anymore, so I do recommend you checking the latest prices and availability down below in the video description. And you have an upgraded version from this system, especially if you want to play at 4K resolution, which is much faster, and I will talk about that one right now. But before going there, if you are finding valuable information throughout this video, leave a like and subscribe. It's going to be helping the channel a lot, and it goes a long way. So the upgraded version is the ABS case Roby, which is going for $2,100, so $200 more expensive than the last one. And in terms of components, it is very similar with a Ryzen 7 7700X, which is a similar CPU in terms of gaming performance compared to the i7-14700KF, but here you get the RTX 4080 Super instead of the 4070 Ti Super, so you are looking to achieve 85 plus FPS on average compared to the 70 FPS on average from the 4070 Ti Super, so it's quite more powerful when it comes to 4K resolution. You can also play at 1440p if you want very high FPS. I think that is an overkill for 1440p, and I would save my money and go with the last one if you are just going to play at 1440p. But if you play at 1440p and you want to eventually upgrade to 4K, I would recommend you spending the extra and getting this one. The 4080 Super is the second fastest graphics card in the entire market, right below the RTX 4090, but the RTX 4090 is much more expensive, and if you want an expensive gaming PC, I have a recommendation for you. But before going with the RTX 4090 systems, there's another system for around $2,800 that I will talk about right now. And before doing that, I want to tell you that there are only 2 left in stock in the ABS PC that I'm talking about. So as I said before, check the latest prices and availability, and I will leave alternative PCs in case you don't find them in stock while searching for them. Now, for $2,800 you can get a system in the Skytech Legacy PC that's very similar to the last one, but you get the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, which is the fastest CPU in the entire market, and then you get 2 TB of Gen 4 SSD instead of 1 TB, which means that you have more space to download more games. So the main difference between this one and the last one is the CPU. So if you play high CPU demanding titles such as high-end simulators like Flight Simulator, or you want to play esports shooters such as Fortnite, CS2 and this type of games, then it's going to make sense to upgrade to this one. Now, if you play high GPU demanding games such as Cyberpunk 2077 on ultra settings, you are essentially wasting your money if you upgrade to this system, because you are not going to notice the difference unless you play with DLSS on, which is the upscaler from Nvidia, and it's a very high demanding CPU technology. So if you either play with DLSS on or you play high CPU demanding titles, then I do recommend you upgrading. Otherwise, I would save my money, go with the last one, and if you need more storage, you can always upgrade down the line for a much cheaper price. And then if you want the best of the best when it comes to gaming, you have 2 options. You have an ABS PC with the RTX 4090 and the i9-14900KS, which is amazing for content creation as well, and you get 64 gigs of DDR5 memory and a 2 TB SSD. So this system is the best one when it comes to gaming plus content creation, so I do recommend you going with this one if you are a creator. It is the best of the best, and it's going for $3,400. Or if you're doing just gaming, you can get the Skytech Azure, which has the RTX 4090 of course, but here you get the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, which is slightly faster when it comes to gaming compared to the i9-14900KS, and it is also much more power efficient and requires less cooling. So with both of these you get the RTX 4090, so you are getting 110 plus FPS on average, 4K ultra settings, native resolution on high demanding titles, which as I said before is the fastest that you can get in the entire market. So you cannot go wrong by buying either of these 2, but if you are a gamer, I do recommend you the Skytech Azure PC, and if you are a content creator and you want to do gaming at the same time, then I do recommend you the ABS system. Both PCs are selling at the same price, at least when I'm recording this video. And if you are willing to build a PC yourself and get a better price to performance system overall, then I do recommend you checking my video on the best gaming PC builds of the month for every budget and every resolution. That video will be in the top right of the screen. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support. You will have my personal PC help in case you want me to take your specific situation in the top link in the description, and I will see you on the next one.